Welcome back, my lovely listeners, to our romantic suspense podcast series, Lost Memories, Hidden Motives at Daily Stress Busters. In our previous chapter, we awakened alongside our protagonist, trapped in the sterile confines of a hospital room with no recollection of her identity or the events that led her there. We met Dr. Ian Mercer, whose charm and reassurance were shadowed by a cryptic whisper, leaving us with questions about his true motives. Who is she? Who is he? And what is the truth that lies buried in the darkness? Tonight, we delve deeper into her journey with Chapter 2, Fragments of the Past at Daily Stress Busters. As pieces of her lost memories begin to resurface, the line between reality and deception blurs further. Let's step once more into the mystery and uncover what awaits. Her name, he told her, was Emily Grace. It felt foreign, almost as if it belonged to someone else. Yet, there was a strange comfort in having something to hold on to, even if it was fragile and uncertain. Ian presented her with small tokens, photos of a young woman smiling in serene settings, a leather-bound notebook filled with handwritten notes, and a necklace with a delicate charm. He claimed these were hers, found in her belongings. The pictures showed a woman who seemed content, standing by the edge of a lake, sitting at a quaint cafe, or writing in her journal. You were a freelance writer, he explained. A quiet life. No family nearby, but a deep love for solitude and storytelling. Emily tried to accept this narrative, yet it felt like trying to wear someone else's shoes. The fit was close, but not quite right. As the hours passed, Emily's mind began to betray her. Small, vivid flashes intruded upon her thoughts, pulling her into moments she couldn't fully grasp. A hand gripping hers tightly, almost painfully. The sharp sound of water splashing, as if something heavy had been thrown into it. And then, a man's face, shadowed and blurred, but familiar in a way that sent chills through her. These images came unbidden, like fragments of a shattered mirror. The harder she tried to piece them together, the more elusive they became. She shared these flashes with Ian, hoping he might offer clarity, but he brushed them aside. Your mind is healing, he assured her. These are just random thoughts, not memories. But were they? Late that evening, as Emily sat by her window staring into the rain, the shrill ring of a telephone shattered the quiet. She barely paid attention until Ian appeared, answering the call with a clipped professional tone. His expression, usually calm and reassuring, darkened. He glanced briefly toward her as he spoke, his voice low and deliberate. The conversation ended quickly, but not before she heard one word clearly. Grace. The name hung in the air, charged with an unspoken tension. Who had called? Why were they asking for her? Ian offered no explanation, his demeanor turning protective but distant, as though a curtain had been drawn between them. Alone in the quiet of her room, Emily turned the name over in her mind. Grace. It felt connected to her in a way she couldn't explain. Her name, or part of it. The small objects Ian had given her suddenly felt less like tokens of her life and more like pieces of a puzzle someone else was assembling for her. She glanced at the notebook again, running her fingers over the pages. The words inside felt personal but distant, like reading a story written by someone she used to know. Was this really her life? Or was it a life someone wanted her to believe was hers? And so, my curious fellows, the fragments of Emily's past begin to surface, each one a riddle wrapped in shadows. As she struggles to reconcile the life Ian presents with the flickers of memory clawing their way back, the walls of certainty close in around her. And now, it's time to wrap up our tonight's episode with the following poetic verse. A name whispered, a life unknown, the mirror cracks anew, memories rise like restless waves to drown her heart in blue. What secrets does the name Grace hold? Who was on the other end of that phone call? And why does Ian's kindness feel so carefully curated? Join us next time for Chapter 3, Strangers in the Shadows, as a new figure steps into Emily's life, bringing more questions than answers at Daily Stress Busters. Until then, tell us, do you think Emily's memories are real, or is someone rewriting her past? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Stay curious, stay captivated, and we'll see you again soon.